Welcome to the Pitmaster Podcast. We're barbecue competition competitors that aim to share information, advice, tips, and tall tales about our favorite pastime. Head over to thepitmasterpodcast.com for all things Pitmasters, or follow us on your favorite social media platform.
I like all the different sanctioning bodies. I think that there's a place for all of them, and I think the more the merrier. If I get up in the morning and decide I want to go cook at KCBS, well, I'm going to go cook one, and I'm going to cook some of those steak cook-offs this year when I find them, and I can't wait. I'm looking forward to the KCBS steak cook-off and learning more about them, and I am going to do so for sure.
Here are the hosts of the Pitmaster Podcast, Rusty Monson, head pitmaster of Salt City Barbecue, and the two-time grand champion pitmaster of Smoke Ain't No Joke Barbecue, the Anthony Luan.
All right, pitmasters on the show today, we have John Lindsey of Arkassippi Smoke Combo Live, you name it, and if it has Arkassippi in it, he's part of it. So is Anthony, by the way. He is the team Arkassippi with Mr. John Lindsey and Ronald Burns.
Correct.
Super cool. Well, I'm just going to tell you about my exciting week. I just went to the On Q, which is On Q 17th Street Barbecue's class on business of barbecue. And it was really, really, really cool. Andy Husbands was there. We had Andy Husbands on the show here. And
season 1.
Yeah. And we had him there teaching us stuff. And of course, the legendary Amy Mills, who we'll have on the show coming up here shortly as well. And it was pretty cool. I got to hang out with David Knight. He's the creator of Old Hickory. He showed up to the party, and I got to talk with him, and I ended up going down to his place and checking his stuff out and talking with him and getting a tour of the facilities and seeing all the, Old Hickories that they make. But man, it was cool. 17th Street Barbecue is, it's funny because I don't know if about you, but you go to these, maybe around here, but you go to these barbecue places been open for a long time. They just kind of lose, their mojo. It's like they've cheaped themselves to oblivion. Then 17th Street has been around for 35 years, and they have certainly not done that. It was really, really good food. And I'm not just saying that, man. There's some of the best food I've had out in a barbecue world. It's super tasty. So, if you ever go to Southern Illinois, be sure to stop by because it was really good. I was really impressed. But it was fun, man. It was a cool experience for sure.
That sounds awesome. Did you learn anything that you're doing wrong that you need to change?
Honestly, it just kind of refocused me, put me back on the path I need to. When you have your own business, regardless of what it is, you get pulled in 45 million directions, and it's hard to remember and settle back on the path that you were on. And sometimes you just need reminders of the base, where you need to be, the base level, and you need to get those blocks right. You said your house, it's like building a house, right? The foundation is the most important part. So that's the same with a business, is their foundation has to be solid. And when you're running and gunning, with your head down, it's something, you lose that. So I was able to kind of, rebalance myself and put my head back on my shoulders, get a few tips and tricks along the way. And I learned a lot, man, actually. A lot of cool techniques.
Well, you and I, we spent 2 hours together in your truck heading up to the barbecue pit stop of Logan.
Yeah.
And I actually got to really get inside your head on what your vision is. And let me tell you folks, Rusty he knows where he's going.
Yep.
He just needs to find his path to get there. There's a lot of paths.
And it feels like that path is climbing Mount Everest, but it's all right.
Right.
It'll happen. It'll get there.
Yeah.
Anthony, by the way, is not in studio. That's why he's a little on the muffled side, just so you know. He's joining us via somewhere else remotely. So other than that, you're heading down to Vegas tomorrow?
Yeah. So I'll be there, Friday. Heading down on Friday.
All right, cool. So I thought it was a couple weeks away still. So I booked events for the weekend. So I will not be in Vegas, sadly. And to be honest, I'm a little bit happy about it. It'd be a fun place to go and hang out. But what is it, up to 9,200 teams now? So
9,600.
You literally, it's like what you should do is save some money. Instead of cooking steak, just each grab a dice and roll it. And whoever wins gets the prize. It's going to be
literally
crazy.
That's what it's going to be like. And then I think they're a little short on judges too. So it's gonna be an interesting event. Hopefully the judges don't get burned out. So I'm almost wondering if going early is going to be the advantage.
Maybe. I trust in Christy though. Christy Vanover is definitely going to handle business, so I'm not worried about that. She'll get it figured out. So
right. I'm just trying to figure out where they're going to put 96 teams in that parking lot. It's going to be pretty packed.
Well, it's right off the freeway. Maybe just put you in the middle of the freeway. That'd be crazy, right? Cars whizzing by you, trying to cook a steak. 92 people in the competition. It's like complete chaos.
Right, it's like Frogger trying to turn in.
Yeah, that's what they should do. There should be a new barbecue show. It's steak cook-offs in the middle of a freeway, and whoever can hang. That's what they should.
Rusty, how about you be the promoter of that first one and see how it goes?
I got something going on that day.
You got something going on. Of course you do.
You don't
busy. Want no liability.
Yeah, man. Come on now. I'm the idea guy here. I ain't the legs guy. I'm the idea guy. So, good luck.
Is that what you mean by
sheer
revolution, though? So you're just the idea guy for sheer revolution right now? You're just out here just promoting it and not doing it?
At this point, absolutely, because it's not working for me. But good luck to everyone down there and hanging out in Las Vegas if you're out and about, because this will come out the day before or 2 days before. So if you want to judge, head on down. Get a hold of Christy. I'm sure she would absolutely love it. There's too late to sign up now. But Barbecue will be there. John Lindsey has a class this Friday night at that place that they're doing it. What was the place called? Do you remember?
Was it Fire and I have no idea.
You can find it on John's Facebook. Go to Arkassippi and check it out. Just go to John Lindsey's Facebook and he'll have it posted up. But they're going to have a cool Hasty Bake. We'll be there with John and doing a little class and a little demonstration, which would be super cool. So don't forget to check that out.
Yeah. Go
say hi to Anthony. Wish him luck. Other than that, I think I'm gonna Anthony made a call for people to do to write reviews on our iTunes, and man, you guys showed up, so thank you. We have tons now. So I've got like 5 here, but we're gonna start with 1. So cool. Don't forget,
is this person that you're gonna read, they gotta go ahead and shoot us an email and with their address and stuff, and I'll take care of them for it.
Cool. You've heard it there. Go to iTunes, do a review, guys. It's always helps. Go to Spotify and leave a 5-star review and all that fun stuff. All that kind of stuff helps. So anyway, this one's from Frank Winterdale. I've been listening for a while. The hosts work well together and don't take themselves too seriously. The interviews are also handled well and informative. So thanks, Frank. That's great, man. We appreciate your support and you listening and all that stuff. We love you guys. We really do. And we like to do it. It's fun stuff. But I have a jazz game to get to, and you got to, do your thing. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to go cry because they traded Joe Ingles today. So
right. I'm kind of sad about that too, by the way.
Then I read his tweet and I'm like, I'm not crying. You're crying.
But listen here, Rusty, they said that, with his injury and everything like that by the time that all heals up, he'll be out of contract anyways, and the Jazz can pick him back up if they want to.
As a veteran, I hope so. God, I hope so.
Yeah,
I hope that's the plan. Anyway, guys, there'll be a tear in my beer tonight. You guys enjoy yourself and listening to the sultry voice of John Lindsey.
We call it Thermapen 1, the first true 1-second cooking thermometer. Its unprecedented speed means Thermapen 1's responsiveness approaches the speed of thought. Because when you're plating the perfect menu or smoking the perfect side of barbecue, you don't have time to think about how your instant read thermometer is accurate to 0.5 degrees in 1 second or less, or how rugged and waterproof it is, or how big, elegant and bright the backlit display is. You'll just know it works, because our perfection powers your perfection. Seek perfection with Thermapen 1.
Hi, this is Greg Rempe, host of the Barbecue Central Show, and you're listening to the...
All right, Pitmasters, on the show today, we have none other than John Lindsey. And if you don't know who John Lindsey is...
you're under a rock.
You're not even that. You're like under the sea.
Do you even know what a steak is?
Yeah. Have you ever heard of the word steak before? If you don't know what a steak is, you probably don't know. I get it. Okay, right. You don't know who John Lindsey is. John, you are joining us in a power outage in your hometown. So we appreciate you coming on, man. How's everything going on down there?
Well, we do what it takes to be on the Pitmasters podcast. Whatever it takes, it's what we're going to do. It don't matter. I'm kind of like the mailman. It don't matter if it's rain, sleet, snow, free, whatever. Well, that's what we're up against. We've been in a blackout here since noon today. Probably not coming on till about noon tomorrow, they say, but we're not going to miss this one. So we're in portable power in my truck doing the Pitmasters podcast and couldn't be any more happy. Hi, guys. How are y'all doing? And it's good to see both of you tonight.
Well, thanks, you bet. Thanks. Thank you.
Thanks for coming back on the show.
Yeah, and then I also want to shoot my own personal thank you out to you on you and Ronald accepting me on Team Arkassippi. That's a great honor to be a part of that team as well.
Mm-hmm.
Well, awesome. Let me just say this. We're honored to have you. You're the kind of guy that we're looking for. I mean, you're a great brand ambassador, and of course, you're going to get out there and mix it up with the best of the best, and that's who we like to have, and so we appreciate it. And good luck to you wherever you could. And Rusty, I've been watching you for a long time and catch you on the Greg Rempe show each week, and doing an excellent job. And it's just good to be back here with you tonight. It's been year and a half, couple of years.
It's been a while, man.
It's been a minute, yeah.
It's been a while. It feels like yesterday, but it's been probably about a year and a half. That's right. Crazy.
Yeah.
Wow.
I was beginning to think you guys didn't like me anymore.
Well, it's funny because as everyone knows on this show, I own every single class on Mike Steele's site, the
Barbecue Champs.
Thank you. Wow, I was that slip in my mind. Right. Barbecue Champs Academy, and everyone knows this. So every single person I get it all the time. Hey man, I need to take a steak class on the Barbecue Champs. Which one did you suggest? Like, you got to take John's, just because of all the stuff that he teaches and the techniques and the way he goes about it is such a good fundamental lesson that you can build off that with anything you want to do. I mean, he's obviously doing things a little differently now, but the stuff he teaches you is like invaluable. So that's, it's one of those things I still suggest that class to. So we haven't forgot about
Appreciate that.
Definitely not.
Well, and just trust me when I say I'm trying to get Mike. I've tried 4 or 5 times to get him to give you a commission for everything that you do.
Right. I don't ask for much.
Can I get a free class or something?
Can I have a buy 10, get 1 free class?
Just give you some kind of bone, but the thing about it is, Mike, I can only do so much, but I appreciate everything you've done. And in all seriousness, let me say this, that was probably one of the best things I've ever done in my cooking career. I never did think I was worthy enough to give a class. I had been cooking a long time. Always looked up to guys and gals that gave these different classes, whether it was ones that I took on the barbecue circuit or went and sat down in a class setting. But we had paid some dues, and we had cooked a lot of contests, had some success. Mike approached me, and I had to really think about it, because he made sure to tell me right up front. He said, John, if you're not going to give it all, if you don't want to give it all, don't do the class. He said, I want people that wants to do a tell-all class. And I slept on that 2 or 3 nights, and maybe even more than that. I had to sleep on it pretty good there to make sure, because I had some techniques at the time that I thought were cutting edge. By watching my class, I'm pretty technical, but my technique is one that you can springboard off of my stuff and do your own thing, but it's the technique that kind of works. And I decided I would do it, and it's the best decision I've ever made. It's opened doors for me that I would have never had open. And I found out when you give back, I didn't do it for the money. That's the classes are very inexpensive, and I didn't do it for the money, but I did it to give back to the sport. And I found out one more time, when you give back, you just can't outgive. It comes back around, and it definitely has. And I appreciate you referring my class, and I'm glad that both of you took it and have enjoyed it, and hopefully have had some success off of it.
Well, I did have success in the steak world, and then I decided, like an idiot, that I just wanted to flip the script and start searing for a year and a half. So
yeah. That's still alive.
I don't know yet. It's a whole new year. I'm trying to think about what I want to do. I did all right.
Well,
a couple times. We got top 3 twice.
I'll give you that.
On a sear.
Well, my question, that was my next question. How did that work out for you?
Not great, man. You know what it is that people just don't know how to judge a sear on appearance because we're getting 52 in taste. You know, we're doing good in the taste department, but they're like 46 in appearance and overall impressions are kind of low, which is super weird. So I started asking people, and the only thing I can think of that made any sense from judges that would tell me about it is that the sear, when you have those caramelization marks, they weren't even throughout the steak. And that was the only thing I thought of that might have hindered those scores. But we do them so often now in Utah that we're getting 49s. You know, 49's a big thing. But I don't know what we're doing this year. I know I'm doing a lot more steak competitions. I don't know if I'm going to do the sear thing. I don't know yet. I still have time to discuss. That in my own brain.
If it was last year, I would have said, and, you know, we talked to I was doing an interview somewhere on site. I think it was at Mark Lambert's Cook. And I had Tim Brown, Mark Huntley. I think Matt Overson was there. I don't remember. There was several of us standing around, and we were doing an Arkassippi live. And I remember asking Mark Huntley the question, do you think the SCA is ready for seared steaks? And he said no. And you know, I still don't know that. You know, I think that when you do a sear, although I love to eat them, I think they have a better flavor. Personally, I like that caramelization effect on those steaks. But personally, I don't know that they get judged in a fair shake as one that has the grill marks. And so just strictly for competition, I'm always putting the grill marks on. And, you know, I've changed the way I do grill mark the steak here a little bit. But, you know, I still think the grill mark steak will beat a seared on an average basis, you know, consistently. But
100%.
But boy, I love to cook those seared steaks, don't you? I like to eat the practice when we cook the.
They're the best to eat. I'll tell you that. I'll take a seared steak over a grilled steak, and it's not even close. But you're right. It's the world isn't ready for it, you know, because they didn't grow up. Because Sizzler commercials did not use steak in their commercial or seared steak in their commercials. Everyone's used to looking at those sear marks and those grill marks growing up. It's so much easier now with grill grates. But back in the day when you're searing a steak, it was hard to do. And if you did it, you're like the king of the castle. Like, oh my gosh, look at him. He got those grill marks. Fantastic. So I get it. But that's the thing is it took a lot of us here in here doing it to even get it to where it is now. And it's nowhere near where it needs to be. So Scott Nardios was actually just talking to me about, he wants to do seared steak this year. And he's like, what do you think? And I'm like, man, it's gonna be it's gonna be at least 20 of you doing it, and it's gonna be about a year and a half before people start knowing what you're doing.
Well, Rusty, you can start a whole new revolution. Grill Grates just came out with the air fryer attachments. You can start the air frying with the grill marks.
No,
something new.
No,
give it a shot.
Air fry steak.
Grill Grates has grates to go in your air fryer now.
Interesting.
Yeah, give that a shot.
Yeah.
No, try that one for a year.
Yeah. Well, somebody cooked one in a crock pot for one of the Alabama championships. I heard somebody cooked a crock pot steak and won the thing here a few years ago. So, So anyway, anything can happen, I guess. It's any heat source. So bring your air fryer. Let's see if it'll work. You know, it's I would have just about as much luck doing that as I would searing one in a competition, I think, but it would be worth a shot. You know, at least you could be the first one that said you won on an air fryer. How's that sound?
It's not worth it.
It's not worth it.
How much did you spend to get there? Oh man, we don't even want to talk about that. Finally got that ticket.
Oh, that's funny.
But you just mentioned a guy that I would classify as one of my heroes, who was Scott Nardi. How do you get much better than Scott Nardi right now and his wife Jessica? These are great folks and great cooks, and man, I've got to be around them a little more this past year. And great cooks, great folks, and so with people like that's cooking lights out every time you go, this SCA game's got a little harder, guys. It's just a little bit harder to go out there. You don't just throw one out. It don't matter how much of a seasoned pro you are or how many contests you've cooked. When you throw a grill down out there right now, it's anybody's game and anybody can win. And I'm just telling you, they can beat you in a heartbeat. So it's a lot of good competition right there in the SCA right now.
Yeah, it's like wildfire. Like I think you guys had a lot to do with that revolution and kind of taking it to a next level. I think you guys, it's a really important part of that because, you know, you had some good steak cooks before, but then I remember taking your class. I mean, I took it the day it dropped. I think we talked about this in our first episode with you, but it's important to reiterate. So I get your rubs that next day, you know, so I order them, they come, I get hottie toddy, I get steak shake. And I go to a contest and I put them on, you know, we took 4th out of like 70 freaking teams that day using your guys' rubs. And Utah, no one had heard of Arkassippi combo. I don't even know what it was, if it was at the time. And people were coming around like, you should try this. And I'm just like dumping on people's hands and like, oh my God, where did you get this? We need to get this. And everyone's just like getting it. And I'm just seeing this. I'm like, man, that's crazy. And then so it just, and it was, I'm not saying it was me at all. It was you guys, and you guys come up with this like thing, and people across the nation take to it so quickly. And you guys change, in my mind, kind of the profile that everyone's going for. And I think it kind of set the standard for what we're doing now. You know, it was a simpler, I'm not saying it's not simple, because it is, but you guys kind of changed that a little bit, put a lot of color on the steaks. You guys were doing a lot of different kind of cool stuff. So I think that your guys' rubs came out were kind of revolutionary in that way. And I think we're still kind of riffing off of it, you know, and everyone's kind of has that profile nowadays, I feel.
We call it Layerology 101. And, you know, we had a vision when me and Ronald Burns went together on this Team Arkassippi and using the Arkassippi combo, how to learn. We took things from our old barbecue school days. See, most folks didn't know that Ronald Burns is a excellent barbecue competitor and cook, and I wasn't too shabby when I was on the circuit either, but steak cooking has made me better all the way around on all of it. But we took some lessons from the old barbecue days on layering those flavors and brought it over to the steak world. Is really what we did. Developed lines of rubs that worked well together and paired well together. And you know what? Now, you know, from where we started to now, you know, from the West Coast to the East Coast, North, South, Texas, Europe, Australia, Arkassippi combo, we get letters, we get calls, we get emails, we get texts. If you'd have told me that when I was sitting on your show the first time, I wouldn't have believed it. I just wouldn't have believed it. But I will tell you, we're very honored and very blessed to have had that kind of an impact. And we call that the layers of flavor that changed it. And when we talk about it, it's Arkassippi Nation, and that's what we call the folks that use our product. So we're happy to be a part of that.
All right. You ready to come out to the West Coast, John? We don't play country music out here. It's gangster rap.
No, we play country music. Nobody plays gangster rap at you.
Yeah, you're ready. You ready to come out to the West Coast?
Let me ask you, am I going to fit in when I come, or am I? I mean,
you have some twang, yeah.
I mean, what could I do to fit in better out there?
You need to take the Ebonics class.
Yeah, I can't change the accent. If it goes, everything goes.
Oh man,
I can't. I can change the clothes. I can change the hats. I can change the wardrobe, but the accent has to stay. It don't work if I don't have that.
No, you'll be fine. But we're excited to have you out there. It's a big one coming out here to the Las Vegas. It's BBQ's coming out. You're coming out. We got some. Yeah. It's a big event going down on. Is it the 12th, right, in Las Vegas?
Yes, sir. Well, we've been shooting for BBQ TV for season 5 and 6 this year, and so we're really loving being on that show. And I think it's really good for the State Cook-Off Association. But the great thing that BBQ's doing this year, they've got a points race. And there's going to be 8 contests in this points race. 2 of them are kind of outliers. One in Ohio and one at the Canton, Ohio, I believe, at the Football Hall of Fame, NFL Hall of Fame, I believe, up in that area. And then this one in Las Vegas. So the thing about it is, you know, I'm going to make all of those and run this points race for BBQ. I'm excited about doing it. Of course, we'll be filming the show out there, and there's going to be several episodes of that this year. And they've dedicated that entire show to the State Cook-Off Association, and it's called the Stakeout for season 5 and 6. man, I'm going to tell you something. A company it'll pour themselves into the organization I love. Well, man, I'm going to support them 100%. Mike Smith has done an excellent job. Of course, Lisa Blackwell, also love being on the show with her. She always does great. So, hey, it's setting up to be a great show. Around 70 teams.
Yeah, 70
teams.
Be
a fun time, guys. Yep.
And that's still 2 weeks out, so it could climb up to 80, 90 teams. We'll see.
Well,
I don't know where it taps out.
Right. It just went into crapshoot status. And so, I mean, when you get that many teams cooking and good ones, it's a crapshoot. So you go out there and do the best you can, and that's what we're going to do. The great thing about that deal, have you guys seen the flyer and stuff for the Monster Burger that they put in out there?
Oh man, I don't even want no part of that. Like, we're on the West Coast, so there's gonna be seafood all over the place, lobster tails, especially in Vegas, probably gold-plated burgers. It's gonna be crazy.
Well, we're going to cook the Monster Burger. So anybody, but this is a BBQ ancillary. It's not a steak cook-off ancillary. So BBQ has stepped up and said anybody that's cooking the event can have a free entry into the Monster Burger category. So I'm going to have to cook it. I'm looking forward to it, but in a way, it does cramp you for time on your steak. It kind of gives you a little bit of a disadvantage. But we're going, and hey, who knows? Maybe when we can win Monster Burger, we'll give it the best shot we can. But we're looking forward to being in Vegas. It's my first time out there. But Anthony, I'm coming out there for you guys as much as I am for this event. We've got a bunch of Team Arkassippi West folks out there that is good at cooks as anybody in this entire country. And me and Ronald Burns want to come out there and support you guys, and we want to meet you face to face. And that's one of the reasons we're going to hop on a jet and get out there, and we can't wait to be there.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun.
Yep.
So you brought up your rubs. Is there anything new that you want to say about those?
Yeah, we've got quite a bit of new stuff coming up. I know Ronald has just released, there's two newer ones that he's just released. It's one of the Climax Double X BAM is a great product. Yeah, that is a fantastic product. And he's got a new one called Holy Moly. And if you like a grilled flavor in your seasoning, that one is going to be a good one. It's got a little bit of that grilled flavor to it. It's doing a great job as an AP style rub. I put out the Rockin' Rooster poultry rub, chicken rub, that has, honestly, it's my best. It and the next one I put out, which was the Cajun product, the Bayou Bandit. Those two are my best sellers, bar none. I mean, they're selling across the country. Rockin' Rooster was the NBBQA first place poultry rub of 2021. We've entered it, and we've entered the Bayou Bandit. I got a guy sitting out here and trying to do. I'm sorry, folks. Hang on, folks. Buddy, I'm on the TV. I'm trying to do a show podcast here. Sorry about that. Only in Arkansas, fellas. I'm sorry. Had a guy pull right up. I have to be out here in my truck because of the power outage, and I had an 18-wheeler pull up, and a guy jump out and come up to my window. So anyway, no problem. We got it took care of. But anyway, what I was saying, the Rockin' Rooster and the Bayou Bandit, great rubs. They've done real good for our products and for our brand. But also, I've got a new one coming out called State Line Bold, and it has been on every piece of meat that I've cooked in the last 10 months. And it's a everything seasonal, SPG enhanced, on steroids. And we really love it. And so that one's coming out, as far as my seasoning products. I've got some injections coming out. I've got a new sauce coming out, 2 or 3 things. So so yeah, things are going good in that line, and we're looking forward to putting them out. I hope everybody likes them.
So I'm going to tell you the people this right now. Spam and with the holy moly there, and I just ran it just those three straight, and I hit a 50.2 on taste. So the judges are digging it. I'm just telling you guys that right now, and it is amazing. I like that BAM. It has a little bit of heat when you taste it, but it actually goes away when you're on that when you put it on the meat. So it's good stuff, guys.
What folks really have a struggle doing, they will taste the product right out of a jar. And when they do that, they can't get a great representation. So if it's got a little back end heat, or it may be a little salty, you can't tell what a rub's going to taste like till you get it on a piece of meat. And so don't let some of these rubs fool you. In our rub line, we've got some that have a little extra heat, some a little extra salt, some that's got a little extra sweet. But when we layer those together, we layer them in such combinations that it's a balance. And it's just like, it doesn't matter where you're cooking, what you're doing, and what you're cooking. I believe, my personal opinions, is balanced flavors win. They're going to come to the taste like cream. It's going to rise to the top every time. You may have a certain particular time somewhere down the line that you have an off-the-wall flavor profile that might get noticed, but I want balanced flavors every time I go, and I want it to be a great balance of flavor when a judge takes that bite, and that's what we try to accomplish with our products.
Done very well.
But you said injections. What kind of injections? Because you obviously do a lot of steak competitions. What would the injections? Would they be for steak?
Well, I have, and I'm not going to. The injections that I've got will work off of our products that we already have, and no, not necessarily for steak. I'm trying to figure out how to word this. More than anything, we're going to have a Cajun Creole injection with the Bayou Bandit. We're working on that one now. We're going to have a poultry-based injection working off the Rock and Rooster brand. Actually, we're trying to sub-brand, and we'll be sub-branding those two products. Rock and Rooster already has a brine with it behind it, and I thought that thing was going to be so seasonal, and I didn't really. I did a couple of runs on it, and man, it's anybody that had it, it's sold out quick, and it's still selling. If anybody's got it, we're selling brine every week, and I wouldn't have thought so, but I thought it would be more seasonal, and of course around Christmas and Thanksgiving we did a lot of brine sales, but man, it's selling every day. People are using on competition chicken, and so all of that. But so we have a brine that we've introduced with the Rock and Rooster name on it. We've got several other products that are coming along with the Bayou Bandit name on them. Probably 4 or 5 products each to each one of those lines by the time it's over with. Just different things: injection, shrimp boil, crab boil, catfish breading. We've got several things that we're got in the works right now on our products along the lines of those 2 breakout products, that Rock and Rooster and Bayou Bandit.
Nice.
Yeah, man. Be all about that catfish breading. That'd be fantastic. Yeah.
You just gotta dredge it with an egg and then batter and good to go.
Right?
That's so easy.
Good to go.
Easy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We just got to get some catfish in here.
There's catfish here.
Yeah.
You can get catfish all over.
It doesn't look right to me.
What is the catfish supposed to look like?
I don't know. It's all frozen and it's just
no. You go catch you actually physically go catch a catfish.
Oh, that requires work.
Oh. My bad. I thought. Okay. Excellent.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just go down and you just grab, you stick your hand in there.
I've seen that on TV, but I don't think you can do that here.
No, they're not big enough here. They're not big enough.
John, we're going to need you to bring some catfish with you, please.
Well, we do that bulldog and those catfish around here too, and I've never done it. I just don't. There's something about me that I don't want to put my hand in the catfish's mouth around here. But anyway, I got friends that do it, and but our fish breading don't have to go on catfish. It can go on anything you want it to. And I will tell you that, you know, I think there's a big move on some of the stuff that I'm seeing right now. People are loving Cajun products and things that step outside the box just a little bit. You know, Creole butter and things like that, I think are really big sellers. And so we've prototyped all those things, and we're working on them now, trying to get everything rolling. So we're excited. We got a few things coming down the pike, but this bold is going to be, I have a feeling it'll probably be one of my bigger products that we've put out. Anybody that has tasted it, as far as an SPG style, most of the time they get it and they'll start using it like salt and pepper at home. I mean, it's just one of those things. Now, it's got a little heat on the back, makes it stand out, and it's enhanced a little bit, but I think it works, and I think it's going to be good.
It's beefy. It's straight up. When you think of beef, it's straight beef. I like it. Beefy.
Just like me.
Beef cake.
No, that's fat. I'm sorry. I always get them confused. So anyway, since we've talked, you know, you've done quite a bit of I mean, you had Arkassippi live then. It was just starting out, but you guys have been super consistent with that. That's on. I mean, it's every Monday night. That's right. Mike's is on Tuesdays. Your guys on Monday nights, and you guys have been doing that almost very consistently ever since. That's been a really good resource for a lot of people. I know a lot of people watch that and get a lot from it, kind of like you did. We had mentioned earlier about the Greg Rempe show and the things that you gleaned from that, and you were able to learn a lot from his show and become, you know, and to get into barbecue and stuff. And you're kind of giving that back to people, and by doing this Arkassippi Live, which you bring on these winning competition cooks and, you know, people like that. And you guys just talk steak all the time, and there's a lot of good things to learn from there. Tell people what that is. Maybe they haven't heard of that, which is weird again, but maybe they haven't. So tell us a little bit about the Arkassippi Live. Go ahead.
Well, Arkassippi Smoke Live has been really, really good for us. And, you know, me and Ronald Burns started that when COVID had hit really, really strong. And you know, we couldn't go cook, and that was a particular time we were eating and sleeping and breathing SCA steak cooking. We couldn't wait to get back on the circuit every week, and we couldn't do it because they shut it down because of COVID. And we wanted to take that time to just be out there and visit with our SCA family, and that's the way Arkassippi Smoke Live started. Always wanted to do a show like that because I started out and kind of grew up in my barbecue life watching the Greg Rempe show, the show that he put on, especially those that were the round table was what they were called. You know, I was trying to learn. I wanted to learn everything that I could about barbecue, and so those round table.
We glitched out again.
Can you hear me?
Yep, we're good to go.
Continue. You're good.
I had to say round tables.
Okay, sorry about that. So those round tables really did help me when I started out. And and I've got a huge story to tell about that. Maybe I'll get to tell that on the Rempe show one of these days. But I
know you're listening to this.
I've always been a fan of the Barbecue Central show, and that's where I picked up my chops. So we thought if we could be a resource to people in the Steak Cook-Off Association, we wanted to help people learn to cook a little bit better steak and just be, you know, be able to give back a little bit. And so that's what it morphed into. Now we've turned a little bit. Of course, we have two shows Monday night. We have a 7:00 show for the Steak Cook-Off Association called the SCA Ribeye Roundup. And we talk about points and results from the week, and then right after that we have the Arkassippi show. So we have those two that we do, and you know, it's tough. You guys know how tough it is to try to find the time to put shows out. But it's a labor of love, and we've tried to do the best we could, and be a resource. And so I hope we've hit that mark.
Oh yeah, I mean,
definitely.
We drop in. I mean, I do when I can here and there, but we are recording on Mondays, so we might need to switch that up a little bit. So it's a little different for us. But every time we drop in, I know there's just like so many nuggets. You know, just if you were able to listen to Arkassippi Live every Monday, and you're an SCA cook, you're you will skyrocket through the ranks, because there's just, like I said, you get all the good cooks on there, all the up and comers, all the people who are just out there killing it, on that show. And they're kind of, telling you how they do it. You guys are throwing in your advice and stuff like that. So it's an excellent resource for steak cooks. I know that getting back into it, I'm going to go back into the archives and try and put, listen to some, re-listen to some shows and do different stuff like that, just because, it's a great resource.
And we've made a move now to even spread it out. And there's a danger if you're doing steak all the time, people think that's all you do. And so we don't want to prototype ourselves into, people just think that, hey, we're typecasting ourselves into just steak only, because we love barbecue. We like all kinds of live fire grilling and cooking. We're always going to be a focus on some of the SCA, but then we're incorporating some barbecue and some backyard grilling and all kinds of stuff in the show now, which we think is really, really a benefit to everybody. And so all in all, we're just trying to do the best we can, and we're still enjoying putting it out. It's been really good for us.
Right. Yeah. People forget that he started in KCBS competition, moved to steak.
Yep.
And that still carries over to Myron Mixon's competition a couple of weeks ago, and talk about hitting home runs. So
tell us about
that comp. That would have been a lot of fun. How did you, first of all, let's start. How do you get into that competition?
That is an invitational only competition. It's the Unadilla, Georgia, Hog Drop. Myron Mixon puts that on down there in his hometown. I was really fortunate to be asked to come and do a steak class in the middle of one of Myron's classes, one-day classes that he gives at his compound there. And I really was excited to go and be able to do that. And very honored to get to do it, because come to find out, I was the only non-Mixon that had ever been asked to specifically teach a class in one of their schools. Cool. So they told me that about 5 minutes before I went on and followed him teaching. So I was pretty nervous when I got up there, but we got to talking about it. Things went right on, and it turned out really, really good. And people had a great, people want to learn how to cook steak, and we were excited. People really took to that during that class. So they knew me from that. It come around Hog Drop time, and I got a phone call, and they asked me to come and cook this barbecue competition. It's GBA rules: pork loin, pork butt, or pork shoulder and ribs. Went down and cooked. They had some of the best teams across the United States. And we went down and cooked it. I took a barbecue champs class just to brush up. Robbie Royal took his class because he's a GBA king down there and is a pork loin master. I've never cooked pork loin in competition, so had to brush up and get ready. And I also took Mark Lambert's class through barbecue champs. And I'm gonna tell you, I think it gave me a definitely a leg up when I got down there against all those great competitors. Brad Kay was right next door to me. Brad is a legend down in that area, Georgia, South Carolina, Florida area. He's a legend, and he is a champion cook. Matt Griner, I don't know if you guys have been keeping up with Matt Griner, but Matt Griner is, and he does cook for Jacksonville South. He's on their team on some of the bigger contests sometimes. He's got his own team too, but excellent barbecue cook. Raymond Poor, that cooked with Rescue Smokers and Robbie Royal for all those years, he was down there. So this competition was stiff, but we went, kept our head on straight, balanced the flavors, just kept cooking. Didn't know where we were going to land, but we wanted to keep everything as balanced as we could with the products that we have. Went down there, won the thing, grand champion. And you know what? If I was going to win one, that was one for me to win. I was very excited. Myron, Tracy, David Mixon, and my buddy, Michael Mixon. I'm going to tell you, they don't make them any better than Michael Mixon. That whole group down there rolled out the red carpet. and we just can't wait to go back and defend that title next year. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, that was definitely one to win.
Heavy hitters for sure.
Oh yeah.
That's what I want to play.
Yeah, well, Sonny Mooney was down there too.
Yeah,
right?
you're going against the world steak champ down there.
Yeah.
Sonny Moody was there. Her and Jeff were both there. They had their big Kansas City cooker over there that was, which I love the look of that thing. It's as big as a car. They rolled it out of the trailer, had it out there cooking. I pulled my drums out, cooked hot and fast. Didn't matter where I was at. If I'm going to cook, I'm going to pull the drums out and go. And then I cooked my pork loin on a Camp Chef 36 woodwind, and it done a fabulous job on that pork loin. It was, and just watched it, kept it close, kept the fires right, and really tried to keep everything balanced. And but one of the things I'm proud about that win, there was nothing in that win that I used in any kind of product other than the Arkassippi combo. It was all Arkassippi combo products except the injection, and I used Heath Riles pork injection on everything I cooked. But all the flavor profiles I got the flavor profiles ready before I went down there, and I knew what we were looking for, knew what we were trying, worked the finishing rubs out, worked the sauce ratio out between the all queued up and the hottie toddy. I had it ready, and it worked, and it was balanced. I call that flavor down there in Georgia balanced, but a little on the sweet side, and that's where we left it.
They like their sweet down there. If that's why Utah and Georgia are like the sweetest two places on earth.
Got the peaches down there, so they're used to those, real sweet with all the peach sauces and desserts and everything. But then Utah, we have sodas and cookie shops. Yeah. So that's where the sweetness comes from here.
Yeah, I get it.
Yep.
I have a question about you say you like to do a lot of live fire. You're doing barbecue a little bit, obviously with the Myron Mixon stuff, but you mostly focus on SCA. What do you feel about the new KCBS steak cooking contest?
I am going to really get in depth with that. I'm going to look and really get schooled up on that. I think there's room for a lot of different organizations out there. And, SCA is a great organization. Me and Ronald both were the 2021 ambassadors of the year for the SCA. So, we were excited. We're always excited to represent SCA. I think that's one of the things that we've done wherever we went. We felt like that we needed to be helping that organization that gave us a platform. But there's some other great organizations too. I like KCBS. I think sometimes there's a stigma out there that if you love SCA, you can't love KCBS. But I don't see that. I love them both, and I like all the different sanctioning bodies. I think that there's a place for all of them. And I think the more the merrier. If I get up in the morning and decide I want to go cook at KCBS, well, I'm going to go cook one. And I'm going to cook some of those steak cook-offs this year when I find them. And I can't wait. I'm looking forward to the KCBS steak cook-off and learning more about them. And I am going to do so for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And, like you said, SCA, man, I mean, they weren't the first, but they're certainly the best. So they're like the NFL to KCBS's XFL, but it's gonna, we'll see how it goes. It's gonna be interesting. I like it because, me, I like the sear, and they're all about the sear. So they might be my people.
Well, KCBS put together a great scoring system and did a lot for competition barbecue for all those years. And I know that there's some things that probably could have changed over the last few years and been better, but that's with any organization. You've got growing pains wherever you go. And I support KCBS and love the folks out there. Really, really do. They have some of the best barbecue cooks in the world. There's some guys cooking like Lucky Charms,
LC,
yeah, man, that guy's knocking it out of the park. Brad Leininger, Tim Shear, you know the score, and those guys are just some of the best cooks in the world. And so I'm looking forward to cooking more KC Best barbecue this year, and I'm going to probably drop down and cook some of the other sanctioning bodies on some of their circuits this year. I'm going to do a whole bunch of different stuff out there. I'm not going to be anywhere minutely chasing any points this year. I am going to be in the points race for BAMAQ. I will be involved in that one. SCA will continue to do well as long as they listen to the cooks. If they ever get to a point of not doing that, they'll fail and fail hard, because that's what happens. But right now, I don't see that happening. I think they pretty much do. They do everything that I think they ought to do? No, I think there's a lot of things they could do better, but I think they're as good as any organization out there. And I think a lot of Brett and Ken, they're good people. The points race is always a little touchy subject with them, but as of 2022, they have moved back to a pure point system and not an average point system. And that means, probably folks that are going to cook 100 contests can win and be halfway consistent. They have an opportunity to be able to be in that top 10 in the nation if they want to put the money up and hit and be a road warrior. So I don't know if that's a great move, but that's the way that it is, and I'm for that if that's what they want to do with it. So it can go either way.
Right. So let me understand this. In 2021, they split it up where it was like an average, like you said, right? Yeah. So that you didn't have to cook so much, right? And then they have that.
Yeah, in 2021, which I thought they had pretty much changed this. You had some great cooks that's not going to be able to cook 80 contests a year.
Yeah,
just not going to be able to. And some of the best ones. Well, when they had a points race that had the average, your top 15 cooks, then you had an average of the best 15 cooks that you had. So you could put 15 great cooks together and be in the running for a points championship. It was more on the average. Now it's a pure point system again, just like it had been before, and where every contest you're running up and down the road and you're trying to cook more and more and more and more to get another point. And so there's good points about that and there's bad points about it. It's just that's always going to be a little sticking point. I've heard it both ways, and you can't please everybody, but that's the way SCA has decided to do it this year. And there's going to be some that really, really like it, and there'll be some that don't like it, but it is what it is. I'm not going to have to worry about it because I'm not going to be chasing points with the SCA. And I've got a brand to build, and I've got all kinds of classes that we're doing, and we're going to be cooking at BAMAQ events, and I'm going to be cooking some barbecue and a lot of different things going on for 2022. Who knows? By 2023, they may change it again. We'll see what happens.
I hope so, because it really benefited us on the West Coast, because we didn't have a lot. And so, we weren't able to do that. I mean, it is grown as there's a word there that means a lot that I was trying to say, but I'm not going to. And it's gotten bigger now. I mean, we're looking at about 8 or 9 contests, most of those being double. So in reality, those are in the teens, and that's just in Utah, let alone these. We have the whole West Coast Steak Association now, and Christy Vanover is doing a lot down in the Las Vegas area for the Nevada Barbecue Association and different stuff like that. So they're getting bigger. So maybe, and down the road when we're catching up, but for right now, man, we just can't compete. You have the Kyle Matashevskis out there who are tracing around all over Tarnation, which is fine, but it's just hard for us, to get into those point systems, like Jim Williams right now, a cook out of here. He's 3rd place and he has no way of getting out there and, cooking too much. So he's going to drop, sadly. So I didn't know that, and I just found that out. It's kind of bummed me out, but it is what it is. I like it's fun,
Well, it's for cooks. The reason I was an advocate for the average points, and I was a definite advocate because of people just like you and just like Anthony here, that's stuck out there on the West Coast. That's as good a cooks as anybody in the country. You deserve just as much chance to run for the points champion is somebody that can get in a vehicle and go do 100 competitions. It's only fair. and that's why I felt very compelled to voice my opinion in 2020. Me and some of the other cooks that had chased points and done that. There's no reason for anybody, whether you're Tim or Sandy Brown, and they could have won it. They've done so well; they can win it either way. They're consistent enough; they can win it on both average or going the other. But they shouldn't have to cook 85 contests to win a points championship. And so I don't know how that'll go, but from my understanding, we had Ken on the show not long ago, and he says that pretty much everybody wanted it changed back. So if that's a consensus of SCA, then that's what you got to go with. I've not heard very many people that liked that point system, but apparently they got a lot of calls about it. So, we'll see how it goes. I'm going to support SCA either way, and we'll see what happens. But I hate it for guys like you that are great cooks that I feel like you and people like Rick Manzi, Rolf Garrett over on the East Coast, people in these outlying areas that are as good a cook as anybody in the world. I don't think that you ought to have to hop on airplanes, spend a small fortune trying to get out here and do something you love to be able to be in a points race and be a contender in that. I just don't think you ought to have to. So I don't know what the solution is, but we'll see what happens down the line. Just keep cooking, guys, and hopefully this thing will come back around some way.
Well, it's grown so big. I mean, like where you guys are, you guys go fill up a gas tank and like, oh, there's an SCA cook. I'm just going to join real quick. Down here, it's like driving to Vegas. I have to drive here to St. George. I mean, the next two here are 4+ hour drives, each 7. That's just the ones coming up soon. And then, of course, a lot more get closer. But, it's still fun. And I'm never, ever, ever going to be a points chaser, even if it was close. That's not my gig. I go out to have fun and, win a golden ticket and have a little fun. And I want to win, of course. But, points chases have never been my thing. And I only say that because I've never really been in the position to. And if that changes, Brad Leininger was to maybe, I don't know, retire like he said he would, Brad. And, and then you have those opportunities. But for me, it's just fun. So it's kind of cool. I was looking for more people like Jerry Aguilar, who in the West Coast here is phenomenal, probably just could crush it. And he doesn't have a lot of options, Fidel and Anthony and people like that. And even Morgan, Morgan's been freaking on fire right now. Right? People like that, those people, So it's cool. It's just still fun for me, but it'd be cool to see those guys get what they deserve, and they're good cooks, and they deserve, to have a shot. But it is what it is.
That's exactly what I think, and that's why I kind of went to bat for the average portion of this. It was because of the cooks. It was for the cooks. That's the reason I kind of threw my voice behind that points average type competition. You've got some of the best cooks on the West Coast as there are in the world. And, so maybe one day, and we'll see what happens. But I know one thing, SCA is growing out in your area, and that is a great thing. I remember there was no competitions out there when I first started SCA. There was nothing. And so they're really growing, and I'm glad y'all are getting to cook.
Yeah, I mean, we started out with like 2 or 3 a year, maybe.
Yeah. 1 year, there's just one. Yeah.
And even I'm talking about the West Coast. I'm talking straight up the West Coast. Yeah. And they're almost all of them were here in Utah.
And we had like 20 teams at the most? At the most. And that was our first comp. And
now it's crazy.
Now we have 70 in Vegas.
Oh, yeah. It's awesome. That's cool. So, I like this maybe in a couple of years, we won't have to worry about that. Maybe we will be getting gas and say, oh, there's a steak cook-off just across the street.
I hope so. You guys deserve it. You sure do.
It'll happen. But, it's fun. I love cooking SCA. I mean, like I said, but I like branching out too. So, I like barbecue. Barbecue is my first love. I love competition barbecue. But man, there's nothing like going out and cooking a steak and hanging out with these people, and it's just all about, it's such a cool little environment and scene. And what's cool about SCA that it was always be special is that you can go out to a lot of comps and you meet Ken and, you meet the organizers of this and you get to like talk to them and, they're super, super cool. I mean, Brent is one of the most down to earth, cool guys to talk to, and he's fun to hang out with, and Ken the same way. And that's special. And that's what sets them apart from everything. And it will always set them apart. you know, because they're
good
just
folks.
Yeah, it's like it's you know, you get your family, but they treat you like family. You know, it's Brett comes up to me, knows he remembers stuff about me. I'm like, oh, that's cool, man. Right on. Hey, yeah, I did that. You know, it's cool, and he's awesome. So
Brett and Ken they always try to do the right things, and you know, I think they're great guys, and they always try to do the right things. I don't have anything in this world. You know, I've had to deal with several issues over the last 5 years with those guys with different things, but they always try to do the right things, and that's one of the things that I like about them. They love the cooks, and they try to do right for the cooks, so it makes a difference.
They're down to earth. I think I've talked to Ken maybe 4 times on a personal level, and I seen him down in Bullhead City, and he let me right into his personal life. You know, what was going on that weekend, what his plans were, and I was like, this dude is an honest dude, and he's straight up. You know, it's really cool, and I really enjoy that about him. And then, so yeah, they I think they're for the people, they're for the cooks, and hopefully it stays that way. So
yes, sir, I hope so.
Yeah.
So now you're just like you said. I want to kind of talk about what you just said. So you're not doing the points chase and stuff like that, but you are working with Barbecue lately. You've done a lot for them as far as like I've seen you guys been connected, which makes me jealous because Barbecue season 1 barbecue is my favorite thing because when
it is
the Barbecue Pitmaster season 1 was the greatest of all times, and there was nothing better than it. And to them to kind of pick that torch up and go with it, man, I loved those seasons. And now they're doing steak, and you're kind of a part of that. You're in it, and you do stuff with them, and you have a lot going on. What are you most excited about going into the future right now with what you have going on?
Well, you know, there's been several things in the past that, and I'll say a little bit about this to point to the future. Several things in the past that we were really proud of. I guess the proudest thing, the thing, and one of them that I'm most proud of is that made for TV series that we did for Barbecue Champs Academy. It was Clash of the Titans. I don't know that one right there. That was my favorite. That was one of the most favorite things I've ever done. Getting to go head to head with some of the best in the world, and then finally in that final round going head to head against Terry Rome, you know, world champion. It was such a great time, and Mike Steele and them did a great job for that. You know, we have really ramped up our social media and things like that. I'll talk about that in just a minute, but you know, anything we can do to get out there and promote the sport, we want to do it. Now, the Barbecue events that we're doing and the TV show has really been great for us. Me and Ronald Burns both are on season 5 and 6, but there's some great Barbecue Pitmasters that was there. You know, if I start naming all of them, I will leave somebody out, and I don't want to leave anybody out, but you all know who they are because they're the Barbecue stars. I mean, these guys and gals are great cooks, and that's a fun atmosphere to be on the set at a competition with Barbecue. I'm glad and thankful they let us in for this stakeout seasons, and hopefully maybe that'll go on over into the barbecue realm if they decide to leave the steak arena. But right now we're just enjoying doing this with them. We're going to get another good year here with them. We're actually sponsors of Barbecue TV, and so that's an exciting thing for the Arkassippi combo and for Ronald Burns and myself. The future, I'm not at liberty to say all the things that are going on. I've been sworn to secrecy on a couple of realms, but I will tell you there's something pretty big in the works that we have going that I've had the opportunity to be a part of. You'll see that showing up probably in the next 2 or 3 months. Some collaborations with some pretty big names in the barbecue industry. I'm looking forward to that. Also, our social media, we've really tried to ramp it up, getting ready to really get serious about our YouTube channel. We've been playing, we've had a great following on Instagram, good TikTok. Our Facebook's maxed out, and we're building different pages on it all the time now. but we really need a good YouTube presence. And so we're in the process of getting ready to do a really good YouTube channel and build it. So we're in that process now. We've got some folks helping us with that team that we've put together to do so. And so we're really looking forward to being able to do that. And so, just growing the brand, we've got lots and lots of opportunities to grow this Arkassippi combo products right now. And me and Ronald's got some things coming out that will be probably a shocker in the next 6 weeks. That's going to be different, and so we're really looking forward to pulling those out. Just enjoying it. If it gets to be too much work and you get too serious about all of it, before long the fun's out of it. And I have pushed myself to try to be as much perfection as I can when I'm cooking those steaks. And I'm so hard on myself if I don't do as well as I think I ought to. I finally had to just take a step back and stop and say, look, what am I doing here? I don't have anything to prove. I'm out here out here to cook and enjoy this. This is my pleasure time. This is what I do to enjoy. And when it quits being fun, it's not worth doing. So we took a step back and have really, really, since the Hog Drop and maybe in that first week in December, we backed up and thought, we're just going to do what we want to do with this cooking thing. And we're going to do, if we don't want to get up and go, we're not going. We're going to go to the events we want to cook. We're going to go have a fun time. We're not going to have any agendas. We're going to get out there and just have fun and cook a steak or have fun and cook some barbecue. And I'm going to tell you something, guys. It's very refreshing when you come to that point of being able to do that. And that's what we've done. And I couldn't be any happier where we're at right now in our cooking career. I mean, I'm really excited about that.
So I have a friend named Benjamin Franklin that says, you want to let us know what those things are. He's a good friend of mine.
Yep. And can't give out all the information just yet.
Oh, man.
Wait. Okay, fine. I tried. I didn't, you can't say I didn't try.
Yeah.
Well, you guys have a lot of cool things coming down the pipe, and I can't wait to get you back on and talk about those things down the road when we can talk about them and promote those a little bit more. But,
thank you.
We appreciate you coming on, and especially with your power outage, that means a lot to us, and you taking that time to do it. And if you guys want to learn more about John and Ronald, we've had them on the show before, and we get a little bit more in depth about the history of where they came from in barbecue. And you can also a really good interview with Kevin Sandridge from the Barbecue Beat podcast just recently as well. So that's a cool resource. And don't forget, every Monday, guys, Arkassippi Live is on Facebook. You can check it out. If you're a steak cook, barbecue cook, whatever, you can get a lot out of those things.
For sure.
And, check out their freaking product. I'm telling you right now, that steak shake and that the chicken stuff I'm really pumped on, and the Climax AP and the new stuff they have coming out.
I'll bring you some next week to try. Rusty.
Cannot go wrong.
Some of the new stuff.
Oh, yeah. I haven't got to that yet.
Yep.
Just give it a shot. Is there anything you'd like to shout out, John?
Well, first of all, my sponsors this year, I'm working with some different ones. I was a Royal Oak Pit Master. I'm not going to be re-upping with them this year, just simply because I had some different opportunities. They're a great organization, but actually, Papa's Grilling Products, Fiber Energy, I'll be working with them on my charcoal wood products this year. They're great. And great company. Of course, I'll be on the Hasty Bake Pro staff again for 2022. Nick Parsons and myself actually will be at the Premier Grilling Store down there, Anthony, in Las Vegas on Friday doing demos. And so in Las Vegas. So we're excited to be able to do that. I'll be cooking with the man himself, Nick Parsons, Hasty Bake Grills. So we love our Hasty Bakes. We just can't tell you how much we love cooking on Hasty Bakes. And so appreciate all my sponsors. Townsend Spice and Supply, they've helped us develop these products, and we appreciate what they've done for us. Camp Chef is a group that I'm working with too, on a couple of different levels, and and have really enjoyed cooking on their products this year. So we've had a lot of stuff going on, and just for everybody that supported us, that got behind us, I can't tell you, everybody that's bought a bottle of rub or a bottle of sauce or just took a John Lindsey class or just to come up at a competition and say hello. Thank you so much. It means more to me than you'll ever know. And if I can ever help you, all you got to do is get a hold of me. I'm a phone call or a text message or a direct message away. Just get a hold of me. I'd love to hear from you.
Mm-hmm. Sounds good. And see, John, you're connected to Utah. Camp Chef's based out of Utah.
Well, so. they're not any longer very recently, but yes, they're a true Utah company. Yes.
Yep. There we go.
Right.
Yep.
So there you go. Not Traeger. They're from Oregon.
Yeah.
Camp Chef is from Utah. Born and bred.
Right.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Well, cool, man. We appreciate it again for all you do for this sport and SCA and all you do for competition cooking in general. And we appreciate it. It's always a pleasure to have you come on, and I can't wait to meet you in Vegas and give you a high five and a low five, and maybe hopefully make it to Friday for that. If you guys are coming down to that, all 70 of you, or if you live in Las Vegas, be sure to check that Hasty Bake thing out. That'd be really cool.
For sure.
I'm sure that'd be really
It'll be
awesome.
a fun time. Maybe we can go Arkassippi live down there with you guys if you come on
there
up
you go.
in Vegas. It'd be fun.
Yeah. That'd be way fun. I'm down for that.
Yes,
I'm down.
I'll be honest with you. I will be on the Bama Q guys, really annoying, because I'm such a fan. I'll just be following them around, going, "Oh, hey," because I'm a huge. But I would love to do that. It'd be super fantastic. Yeah. I'm just gonna be basically what I'm gonna be is like a guy just fanboying the whole time down there, all around.
Hey,
that's
going to be a
do.
fun time. Well, that's what I do all the time anyway. So don't feel bad. We're going to have a good time down in Vegas, and just remember, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. It's going to be
absolutely, especially my steak score. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
All right, buddy. It's awesome to talk to you. Have a good one.
Right. Thank y'all.
See ya.
It was John Lindsey, and don't forget tomorrow to go check him out at the I can't remember where it is. Go to his Facebook page and he'll tell you where it's at. But if you're in Vegas, you can go see a cool demo. Probably eat some food. I'm not sure. I'm putting words. I'm putting words here that I don't understand.
Yep. All right, guys. Yeah, you can follow me at Smoking No Joke Barbecue. You can follow Rusty at Salt City Barbecue, and always follow us at the Pitmasters Podcast. And make sure you leave those comments. Go to the website, email us, let us know what's up. We'll catch you guys next week.
All right, guys. Have fun. We'll see you then.